Haribo to all my brothers and my sisters, and welcome back to Astral Motivation. Today we're going to be talking about the full moon in Aquarius on August 30th of 2023. If you're new to this channel, welcome to Astral Motivation. Here we talk all Vedic astrology and all Vedic lifestyle. So if you're into any of those things, definitely hit the subscribe button along with the bell notifications so that you never miss any of the nectar. All right, guys, let's see what this upcoming beautiful full moon or blue moon that we're going to be having on August 30th, 2023 has in store for all of us.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda.
Alrighty, guys, let's get started. But just so that you remember, if you want to have your horoscopes for this upcoming full moon, then definitely check out the description here below. Check out my exclusive content in Patreon. There you can get the exclusive horoscopes along with a full moon ritual that we're going to be doing for this upcoming full moon. So if you want any of that, definitely check it out down here. So let's talk about what is a full moon, but more specifically, what is a blue moon? Why a blue moon? Have you ever heard of that saying, like once in a blue moon? It's because it is a very rare thing. It doesn't happen all the time. It's once in a blue moon. So blue moon means that there's two full moons in 1 month. And so we had a full moon at the beginning of the month on the 1st of August. And now we're having a full moon on August 30th. And for another side of the world on August 31st of 2023. So this is a very, very rare, very unique, and it's a very beautiful time. So this is a super full blue moon that is happening in our lives. Now, what is a full moon? A full moon needs to have the moon and the sun completely opposite from each other so that the sun can light up the moon completely. And in this, we have the energy where we are really trying to bring together some part of ourselves because we may feel like that dichotomy very strongly during the full moon. So we're extra sensitive, extra intuitive, extra feely. We feel so much. We perceive so much. And there's a lot of things that come up in the full moon. Even in the garden, like when you garden, the full moon is a very important time where you don't necessarily want to do too many things to your crops because the crops are going through major growth at that time. So it's the same thing with us. During the full moons, there's a lot of things that get stirred up. And I'm sure you felt this. And whenever there's a full moon, you may be feeling like, oh my God, I'm so sensitive. I feel extra this, extra that. And that's the reason why they also have the name lunatic. It has the word luna, lunatic, loon, moon, moody, moon. So all these words have to deal with the energy of the full moon. Why does this happen? Because it's a time of closure and end. It's a time of wrapping it up. It's a time of concluding a cycle so that we may move to a new cycle. It's supposed to bring to completion a 6-month cycle for yourself. So you've been in a 6-month cycle since February when we had the new moon in Aquarius. And now we're about to have this full moon. So it's a 6-month cycle. Take this time to really see what were you doing in February? What were the intentions that you were making back on the new moon in Aquarius that you wanted to create for yourself? Now this should be the time where you're seeing the fruits of that. You're seeing the outcomes of that. And you're starting to see how much have you been evolving in this situation. Wherever it is that you are, the best thing we can do during the full moons is be grateful. Be grateful for what we've learned. It's a great time for us to look back. It's a great time for us to really see how much we've grown in certain aspects of our life, especially where the full moon is landing. And to give ourselves some grace and to be able to close this cycle and see what it is that we have learned from it and how much we have grown. Because obviously there's always more room for improvement and always growing. But the full moons help us to really see these checkpoints of how much we've grown. Now, what is Aquarius? Aquarius is the sign that the full moon is going to be happening in. And Aquarius is a very interesting sign because Aquarius deals with the water barrier, and the water barrier usually symbolizes the human that brings healing to the water, to the world, And there's this energy of water mixed with air because Aquarius is the energy of air. So there's this intellect and then there's this emotional part of Aquarius. And Aquarius is usually known for being a very unique and different sign. It is ruled by the planet of Saturn. And so it has a very stern side to it, but then it also has a very rebellious side to it. So Aquarius is known for being the rebel, the outcast, the one that goes against the grain, the one that does it differently, the one that is unique, is authentic, and it wants to bring this to us. It wants to bring us the sense of tolerance, the sense of humanity, the sense of let's come together as humanity. Let's embrace our humanity. Let's heal each other. Let's heal the world. Let's bring authenticity. Aquarius deals with all these things, but Aquarius also has a double side to it. And I'm sure you guys know your Aquarius friends to, yes, be very weird and different. But when it comes to really intimate things, Aquarius actually is very, very strict and stern and kind of very uptight sometimes. And this is why people get a little bit weirded out by Aquarius, because one side of them is very liberal, but then another side of them is very conservative. And so it has this very dichotomy to Aquarius. But nonetheless, it is the part of our chart. So wherever you look at your chart, wherever Aquarius lies, that house is the house where you get to express your most unique and extroverted self, your most authentic self. This is the part where you can bring community, you can bring friendship, and bring a sense of detachment as well. So Aquarius brings these beautiful qualities. Now, what does it mean when we have a full moon or a blue moon in the sign of Aquarius? This is bringing a completion in our friendships, how it is that we've been making friendships at this time, how it is that we've been connecting to people, and the associations that we get with. Because remember, you will transform into the 5 people that you hang out with the most. And so if the people that you hang out with the most are people that are always having issues, problems, maybe, addicts or, any of these things, you are going to start adopting those qualities. Even if you try not to, you will adopt those moods by just having the association. And so Aquarius deals with who do we associate, and is our network of people lifting us and making us better. So to find a completion in our friendships and how far we've come in our network of friends. Also to find a completion in how it is that we tolerate other people, how it is that we allow other people to be themselves, and how it is that you allow yourself to be yourself. Aquarius is nothing but controlling. They're not in wanting to control other people ever. They want to respect other people's freedoms. They want to respect other people's sovereignties immensely. And so it has this energy of tolerance within us. And it also deals with the part of your chart that it's bringing to conclusion. So if it's in the house, the 4th house is bringing a closure into your home life or your family life. So it's going to be different for everybody. But nonetheless, when we have a full moon in Aquarius, there's going to be a lot of things of humanitarianism. And I know that there's going to be some march happening on September 1st, right after this full moon, in the name of humanitarianism, in the name of equality, and in the name of all these things, which later on we're going to talk about these equality and these sort of topics really deal with Aquarius as well. So it's bringing to a closure these movements, the way that we handle our humanity, the way that we tolerate each other and our friendships, and how it is that we bring associations in our life, and how it is that we express our authenticity. Now, let's check out the aspects that are happening with this beautiful full moon during this upcoming month of August 30th. So for this upcoming full moon, we can see right here that this full moon, what is most interested is that it's going to be happening conjunct Saturn. And Saturn is retrograding. And not just Saturn, we have Mercury, we have Venus, we have Pluto, Neptune, they're all retrograding. So there's a lot of planets retrograding at this time. And it's really trying to bring a lot of inner understanding. It's trying to bring all the energies that we want to put outside into going within. And we do have these moments in life where there is times of exhalation, where we exhale outside and we exert ourselves outside into the world. But then there's those moments of inhalation where we need to inhale inside and like understand things within. And that's pretty much what's happening right now. That's why all these planets are retrograding at the same time that this full moon, blue moon is happening. But one thing I want to warn you is that because we have Saturn here in this very close to the moon, Saturn naturally is going to bring a little bit of pessimism, a little bit of constriction, fear, and anxiety and tension to our moods. Why? Because moon is right here. Moon is our minds, moon is how we feel, moon is our minds. And so moon is very sensitive to who she gets aspected by, and she really, really doesn't like Saturn. She really doesn't like Saturn because she wants to feel comfortable, and Saturn is a very strict planet. So one thing I want to warn you guys is that during this full moon, you may be feeling a little bit more in the side of pessimistic feelings. Feeling maybe down on yourself or a little bit negatively, seeing things in a negative point of view, maybe not feeling too happy, maybe feeling a little bit sad. Saturn can naturally bring these things. Now, I bring you this warning not because you're condemned to it. You can choose to do it differently. Of course, you have your independence. But just to give you a warning that if you're feeling a little wacky or feeling a little sad or down, most probably is because of the Saturn really aspecting this full moon very strongly. But there is a reason for this. And I will be talking about this. Why is it that this is going to be in benefit for us? Let me continue a little bit more with these aspects. Aside from the fact that we have Saturn retrograde conjunct the moon, we are also having Mercury with the sun, and Mercury is retrograde. These two are aspecting each other. They're looking right at each other. So Mercury and Saturn, they do get along. But this is definitely a time where we must see things in the most logical way possible. And this is the reason why Moon is in a very detached sign, Aquarius. Aquarius is one of the most detached signs, okay? They are very detached. So here, this is helping us because we've been going through it. I'm sure you guys have been going through the Venus retrograde and the Mercury retrograde at the same time in Gandanta. Like the things that have been happening have not been easy, guys. It's been tough. But there's a reason to all of this because there is immense healing behind this beautiful full moon. And the healing that is coming, it might feel at first a little intense, but it's like that bitterness of the remedy that tastes so bad, but eventually is going to make you feel better. And if we see it from the logical side of point of view, like, yes, it's the logical thing for me to drink this because it's going to make me feel better, even though it tastes bad. That's the logical thing to do when we are sick. So is the same concept here with this Mercury and the Saturn energy. Because with Venus in Cancer, in retrograde, she's feeling it all the feels. Oh my God, the poor girl has gone through like 2 cantantas already. Like it's been tough. And I'm sure you guys have been feeling that, like the tough in your relationships and money, like something has been feeling like it's drowning you and it's dragging you. And it could be some sort of emotion. It could be some sort of feeling. It could be some sort of any of these things. And when we have this, it makes it very difficult for you to be able to see it in a logical way and to understand why is it that this is happening. And so this is exactly what this energy is trying to bring. A little bit more of the logical side of things. And that's why Saturn is here to kind of ground you and sober you so that you're able to really see things for what they are. Especially if you've been in some sort of situationship that's been very difficult, or if you've been in some sort of difficult situation, regardless of where you are. Now, that is the whole thing that is going on with this Venus retrograde. Venus is also going to be in the 6th house of enemies, so she's not going to feel very comfortable here with all of that. Now, the good news is that we are having Mars in the 8th house, and here Mars is fighting the inner demons. It's fighting the negative thoughts. It's fighting the negative addictions. It's fighting all these tendencies at this time. So you do have the possibility of having a major transformation in your life at this time, thanks to this Mars. But if you get caught up in the emotionality of the ocean of emotion that Venus is kind of going through at this time, you might you might hurt yourself more than actually find a way out of the situation of what's going on. Now, we're also having Jupiter and Rahu are going to be in the third house. This is helping you to bring, again, the mind. Think clearly. This is a time for us to differentiate between what it is the intelligence and what it is the mind. These are two different aspects of the subtle body. So the mind being our thoughts, our fears, our reactivity, but then we have that wisdom, that wise voice inside of us that deals with our intelligence. That is what we need to listen to, and we can at this time because we are having this aspect. So things are helping us out, but I am going to let you know it is going to feel really, really powerful. This full moon is very powerful. Now, let's go a little bit deeper into these things, guys. Now that we saw the aspects that are happening, let's talk a little bit about the nakshatra of this full moon, because this nakshatra is a very powerful nakshatra, and the nakshatra that this full moon is going to be happening in is the nakshatra of Shatabishak. And Shatabishak is a very interesting nakshatra. It deals, pretty much it means the 1,000-hand healer, okay, the 100-hand healer. And this nakshatra is all about healing. And not just healing anything, healing the most difficult, the most difficult things to heal. That is exactly what Shatabishak does. When the doctor can't help you, when they're like, we don't know what's going on, we don't know how we can help you, Shatabishak is the one that heals. So Shatabishak heals not just the body, but it also heals the mind from mental illness. And it also heals from addictions. It also heals from alcoholism and from any of these things. And so it has a very powerful ability to cure and to heal. And it can use innovation. It can use holistic practices, all these things. Now, it has to do also with nature's hidden and complex functioning knowledge. And we'll talk more about how this nakshatra, Shatabishak, is ruled by Rahu. Okay, so when Shatabishak is ruled by Rahu, Rahu is actually known to be a very negative planet. And it deals with the outcast, and it deals with that sort of prideful, incessant energy that wants more, but it can never be satisfied. So the story of Rahu and Ketu comes from the pastime of churning of the ocean. And in the churning of the ocean, this is a pastime where the demons and the devas had to come together and work together to bring out the elixir of immortality. And they had to churn the milk ocean, okay? And so in the churning, when it first happened, the churning brings out the poison first, and it brought a bunch of other things. But poison is the first thing that came out, and then came out the soma. Rahu was a demon that was working with the devas at that time, and the devas, Vishnu, eventually tricked the demons to not drinking the soma. Because, I mean, imagine if demons were immortal. We will be in a pretty hellish place. And so, obviously, they didn't take all the soma. They didn't get the soma, but Rahu got to drink a little bit before Vishnu cut his head. And so, Rahu represents this energy of Shatabishak of like, well, why is it that it's not fair? You know, we both work together to get the milk, to get the nectar out of the ocean. Why is it that the demons don't get to drink it? So it has this attitude of like, well, why not us? Why not me? Why not? Why can it be fair? Why can all be fair? Why can everything be equal? Why can everything be you together? You know, and we actually have this very strongly in our present life as well, is this concept of equality. And if we can just, why isn't everybody just equal? But in reality, this is something that actually comes from Rahu, which is a demon energy. And it shows that even if you think that, oh, well, why is not fair? Why didn't I get to drink the soma liquid? Well, you already had past life karmas, the reason why you became a demon and the reason why you're not going to be drinking that. So there's laws of the universe. And this brings me into the deity that rules this nakshatra Shatabishak. The deity that rules this nakshatra Shatabishak is Varuna. And Varuna is very important deity. So Shatabishak runs from 6 degrees Aquarius to 20 degrees of Aquarius, and the deity is Varuna. So Varuna is Varuna is known to be a god that is the god of the clouds and the sky, and it has millions of eyes, gazillions of eyes, to see everything. And Varuna follows the cosmic laws, how they're meant to be. And a lot of people actually fear Varuna because if they were doing something that they're not supposed to do, Varuna will see it and Varuna will make you pay for those karmas. So it deals a lot with the justice of the universe. This is what it is. But Rahu, being that energy of Shatabishak, wants to rebel and wants to change it. But why can it be things like this? But why can it be things like that? And this is where the Shatabishak energy comes from. This is where the rebellious energy of Aquarius comes from. So not saying that it's good or bad. I'm just saying these are the facts of Shatabishak. So Shatabishak at the same time has the power of healing. It's a very strong healing energy. Very, very powerful healing energy. And as you see here, it deals with the energy of the circle, this energy of circle, this energy of equality. But also the circle signifies the symbol, the weapon of Varuna. And the weapon of Varuna is a lasso. So sometimes we're just tied up to our karmas, and there's nothing we can do about it. And even if it looks unfair, and even if it looks like, well, why is this happening to me? In reality, we are lassoed by anarthas and karmas that come from many lifetimes ago. And to understand that this is what contains us, and this is what keeps things in real order. But the Rahu here wants to be rebellious against that, and it wants to kind of make its own utopia. So it's very eccentric, it's very electric because of that. It's very reclusive, changeable, suspicion. People usually who have a very strong Shatabishak are very reclusive and isolated. And as we see here, it's neutral, it's ether, and it's a demon. So it's the energy of demon, and it's tamasic because it deals with this tendency of wanting to make things everything equal, but in reality, by the laws of the universe, there's karma involved, especially if it's material, and there's nothing we can do about that. So what does all this mean for us? It means that this could have been a time where Venus retrograde and Mercury retrograde really showed us some stuff. Really showed us some stuff about our love life, really showed us some stuff about our relationships, our money life, like our relationship with ourselves, our self-esteem. I mean, it could have showed us so much. And it's going to be different for everybody. And this could be a time where we're really seeing where we need the healing. And where it is that, how are we going through the healing? Are we accepting our karmas, and are we accepting what it is that we deserve? Or are we fighting against what has been dealt to us and finding ourselves in more of a hurtful predicament and more in a broken predicament? So Shatabishak here can heal, and it wants to heal for sure. And we can definitely use this energy to heal ourselves, to complete that cycle, to recognize the karmic attachments and lassos that keep us holding on to this or that, or these problems in love, or these problems in money, or these problems with ourselves, or these problems with career, or these problems with whatever. This is the time to not only heal it, but also for you to take full accountability that everything that has happened in your life is because of you. Not because of God, not because of somebody else, not because of that person or that person did that to you. No, taking full accountability that what I experienced is my full responsibility. And that will bring healing, that will bring liberation, and that will also help us complete the cycle, which is what Shatabishak, this full moon in Shatabishak is really trying to help us, is really push us to complete the cycle fully and heal from it completely. And let it go and understand that it wasn't against you, that is nothing against you, that life is not against you, it's just what needed to happen. And it is the outcome and the fruits of your karma. And this will help us heal and liberate ourselves. So that is about Shatabishak Nakshatra. How can we help this healing, guys? I got you guys. I got the remedies for it. The best remedy that we can do for this Shatabishak Nakshatra is, aside from taking accountability for ourselves, our actions, and our life, also doing the mantra Om Lam Om Lam. And you do this 108 times. So you can do this around a mala or with a japa or whatever it is that you like to use, or a counter, however you like. But this will help you, especially if you do it during the full moon on the 30th of August. Then this is going to be extra powerful to help you in your healing. Focus on healing what it is that you want to heal. If it's healing your heart, if it's healing your mind, if it's healing your addictions, if it's healing your pride, if it's healing anything, memories, resentments, like whatever it may be, this is the perfect time for you to do this mantra. Bring all that up and just give it to the 1,000-hand healer that wants to come and bring full healing into your life through completing this cycle. Alrighty, guys. Now, as always, you guys know that I love to do a little Vedic Oracle, and we're going to check out this Vedic Oracle for this full moon. I am so excited, and it's so special. Like, imagine, guys, like blue moon, super healing energy, right coming at the ends of the Venus retrograde. It just really is trying to wrap it up for us. And if we allow it to wrap it up for us, we can really allow this karmic cycle to just completely close off, heal ourselves from it so that we are able to move into the next and best and better cycle that's about to come. So what is the collective energies for this upcoming Shatabishak Nakshatra, Shatabishak full moon? And remember, guys, if you guys want to check out your full horoscopes for this upcoming full moon, as well as doing a full moon ritual with me, definitely check out my description below for my exclusive content in Patreon. Alrighty, guys, so what do we have for this full moon in Shatabishak for August 30th, of course. Wow. Number one, transformation, baby. Changes are in the horizon, or you already are experiencing these changes for some time. So here is a transformation. Do not resist the transformation. Don't resist the change. Why? So that you stay in the cycle. Allow for the change to happen. And for some of you guys, it may be an abrupt change, like an end to a relationship, an end to a situation, a beginning to a new situation, a birth of a new situation, a baby. It's going to be different for everybody. But allow this major change in your life to really come through, and allow for the full healing of the past, of yourself, and for a new you to come through. So the changes are very positive. Now, are they abrupt and intense? Yes, they are. But they're very positive. Now, guys, I want you guys to be very attentive, because there is a promise of something that is more fruitful for you. There is a promise of a better tomorrow. There's a promise of a better future. There's a promise of a better, more abundant and solid new beginning. But don't let it pass you by. For some of you guys, that you guys might not be paying attention, but others of you are really, really working on building this solid new foundation in your lives. And really, do not take anything that is not in your solid divine plan from here on. You already know what you want. You already gone through the pain. You already know, the healing that needed to happen. So now it's like, allow for a new beginning to happen, and don't look back. Don't look at what happened. Like, don't look at any of that, and allow for something new, more solid, and allow only those things that are going to benefit this new solid beginning to really come through. Okay. And I see celebration. Some of you guys are going to be celebrating with your girlfriends. Some of you guys are going to be hanging out with your guys. Like, there's going to be some celebration, happiness, coming together, joyfulness. Watch out for drinking too much. Some of you guys may be drinking too much. Just a little caution there. But nonetheless, it is a time to celebrate. And yes, celebrate this time of healing. Celebrate this time of closure. Celebrate this time of like, okay, we've come a long way. Like, let's close it off. And I wanted to bring out some love messages for you guys, because I don't know, I feel like this upcoming Venus retrograde, this full moon has to do a lot with with healing something in aspects of love. Obviously, I mean, love is everything. So let's see, what do we have for the collective energy? What is the best love advice for the collective energy for this upcoming full moon? Forgiving and learning. This is where we are at. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. This is exactly what this full moon is all about. Forgiving the past, forgiving. Don't take it as like, oh, why me? Why me? Why did life do this to me? Why is God like this to me? This is going to make things worse. But if we assume like, okay, I made mistakes. Okay, those things didn't work out. What did I learn? Am I going to do the same thing? Am I going to keep looking back? Am I going to keep looking at this past love that I'm going to try to amend even though it's been broken many times? So it's this, forgiving and learning and moving on. And as you release the past experiences, you will experience more happiness in the present moment. Very powerful. Very powerful message. We are so ready for this healing, guys. Like, this is exactly what the Venus retrograde, has been building up to this full moon pretty much. And I know that the full moon is not sounding super like, we happy, but it's a sobering full moon that we need. We need it so that we can see everything clear, We need to see it. We need to see it for what it is. And last but not least, surrender your addictions. So very, very good for the Shatabishak Nakshatra. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with a healthier alternative. Very, very nice. Alrighty, guys, these were your messages for this upcoming Shatabishak full moon, blue moon, on August 30th, 2023, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all your comments, your likes, for sharing this video with your loved ones, and for all the support you bring to the channel. I really, really appreciate it. I am so happy to be here and that you guys are still here bringing a beautiful community to Astral Motivation. Sending everybody so much love and light. If you would like to see my services, definitely check out in the description here below. And my exclusive content will also be in the description here below. Alrighty, everybody, have a beautiful full moon in Aquarius.